Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media, and of course, the prodigy of production. Primetime Jaden Grimes is the executive producer, making us sound high fidelity over there on the other side of the glass. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. We got prizes to give away for the best feedback. All you have to do is enter that rage cage. Ooh.
Wait.
Whoa.
What was that?
A little production trick on you guys.
I like that one. I like that one better. Do it again.
Oh, yeah. We went from an angry gorilla to King Kong up here on Game On.
Exactly what we went to.
Yeah. The Rage Cage, of course, is the talkback microphone at the top of the iHeart Radio app. Press that microphone and rage away. We will play the best responses later. You can also hit us up on the Mills Air text line 50857. We have a lot to talk about today. Krabs, you pumped up?
Oh, are you kidding me? I am fired up. I finally have a win to talk about with the Orlando Magic, so all is good in that world. Had a great betting night last night in the NBA. I mean, things are looking up right now, and, dark times this weekend without any football, but we press on. I am very excited.
Dark times?
Dark times.
You make it sound like there's some sort of catastrophe or natural disaster.
Yeah, when I grab my remote control over the weekend and I go searching for football, I will not be able to find it. That's the catastrophe.
All right, let's get to some highlights and headlines. Hey, we get to play the song, Prodigy. Play the song. Oh! How did it taste? Come on. Hey, finally. The Orlando Magic started hitting some shots last night, and as a result, ended their 4-game losing streak with a 133-124 victory over the hated Heat down in South Florida. How did that taste, Miami Heat? Prodigy, give me some highlights.
Here's Adebayo working for everything. Isaac swats it away again, and now Powell's bringing it, and he will throw it down with 2 hands. And that's Jonathan Isaac at his best. Powell picked Wiggin's pocket. Now the runway is clear. Hammers it down with the right hand. He yammed it. And the Magic lead by 15 points with 6:15 to play in the basketball game. Powell finds Payne wide open, look for 3, and he stuck it. 16-point Magic advantage, 3:55 to go. Big shot there from DB3.
The best part about it is that, the things that we've been working on and the things that we've been talking about, we've executed for the most part. And that's what you're most proud of, not necessarily the pressure of getting a win. It's that the things that you've been doing are now being rewarded because of the way we chose to play tonight.
That's head coach Jamal Mosley. The Magic shot 50% from the field, 42% from three-point range. They're now 4-0 this season against the Heat. Paolo Banchero, 31 points. Anthony Black, wow, 26 points he scored, but he also had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Desmond Bane, 23 points. Jonathan Isaac played 17 minutes, gave the Magic a big lift defensively off the bench. He had 2 blocks, 2 steals. By the way, can we keep him in the rotation, Kravitz? Can we keep J.I. in the rotation?
Mike, I never took him out of the rotation. I
Well,
don't
what
know.
today?
I'm assuming Jonathan Isaac took himself out of the rotation.
Yeah.
Why would Jamal Mosley look down the bench and go, yeah, I have this great defender and my defense is slipping, but nah, that's too obvious. Let me big brain this.
Coaches and GMs, we've got a young guy we need to develop.
No,
That's what
no,
happens.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I highly doubt Jamal Mosley was looking down the bench going, I don't think I have use for Jonathan Isaac tonight. So I don't really have a good explanation for that. But isn't it amazing what happens when guys around Paolo Banchero knock down some shots?
Yeah.
The team played completely different. Can they play the Miami Heat every night of the year, please? Now 4-0 against Miami on the season, and they scored 133 points in doing so. There's something about that the Heat style. You wonder why the Magic wanted to learn how to play with more pace. This matchup is a perfect example as to why that benefits them, because in a game that is controlled by tempo, the Heat play the fastest pace in the NBA by a pretty significant margin, and the Magic have beaten them every single time they've played. So the Magic go up against these teams that speed up. They're actually pretty good at that, and I think that's because of the new system and the way that they're playing.
Well, they also took 16 more shots than Miami, and that was largely because they were actually playing really good defense last night. Even though the Heat scored 124, the Magic turned them over 18 times last night. The Magic only turned the ball over 7 times, so that had a lot to do with it. Hopefully the Magic can keep it going Friday when they play the Raptors at home at Kia Center. UCF coach Scott Frost had a press conference today to talk about the 31 players UCF signed out of the transfer portal, including their new quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, who helped James Madison get into the college football playoff this past season. Here's Scott Frost talking about Barnett.
You know, what I love more than anything about Alonzo is he's a winner, and he's a proven winner. I think when you're a really good team, you have really exceptional leadership from that position. You have somebody that's tough at that position that other people want to get behind and play for and believe in. So not even speaking about the talent that he brings, just really impressed with his demeanor and excited about the level of toughness and leadership that we should get from him.
A pre-spring practice overreaction on a Thursday. Alonzo Barnett will be the best quarterback in the state of Florida this year.
He does look like he's pretty good. It's hard to get a lot off of highlights because everybody looks like prime Michael Vick when you're watching these guys in a YouTube highlight package. I admittedly did not watch enough James Madison, and then when we did get a chance to watch them on a national stage, they got absolutely dominated by Oregon, which was expected. But he looks like he's that guy. The issue is, you said best in the state. Last time I checked, Miami got themselves an expensive little quarterback out of Duke.
That's okay. Tell him,
Mensa. And I see a lot of talent on that arm and in those legs. I think Mensa probably has the fast track to be the best one of the bunch.
We shall see.
And he'll most likely have the best offensive line, too, which will help.
Yeah. College basketball, the Gators, did you see what they did to South Carolina last night?
Dismantled them.
95-48. The 47-point victory matched the Gators' most lopsided SEC road victory in history. The Gators obviously not happy with losing at home to Auburn over the weekend. They took it out on the poor little Lamecocks, did they not?
Yeah, that was a beatdown of epic proportions from Florida, and I think that they are, as you mentioned this the other day, they're starting to make their claim for a team that you can start to buy back into as the defending champions entering tournament time. Now, they were expected to win by a lot. Florida was a 13.5-point favorite, so I guess South Carolina.
47?
But, I mean, obviously that is a much larger spread, but still 13.5 in a college basketball game in conference is a pretty massive number. So the expectation was that Florida would win by a load, and then they won by about 7 loads.
It was such a lopsided game that the 7'9", the tallest teenager in the world, Ali Ryu, actually got into the game.
Did he score?
I'm reading the story. He entered in the final 149 after the Florida bench got supporters to call for him. The 7'9" Ryu never came close to score.
I don't understand. I don't understand this guy.
Wait,
I don't
what?
understand their.
He's not good. What's not to understand? He's 7'9" and he's not good.
But like, couldn't he be good somewhere else? Isn't there someone that could use a dude that's 7'9" on their basketball team?
Maybe he should
instead
come
of-
play for UCF. They did something with Taco.
There's like 400 college basketball teams. There's no one that just wants him to stand under the basket. He's got to rot on the bench at Florida. I don't understand.
Other college basketball last night. FSU won their second ACC game, 63-61 over Cal, and Miami, the Canes, 6-2 now in the ACC with a 79-70 victory over Stanford last night. Maybe the Canes are going to be good in basketball too. I know you're pumped up about that, Jaden Grimes. Who's your favorite player on the Canes basketball team, by the way?
Oh man, I love Canes basketball. You know, I just love everything about Canes basketball. Couldn't tell you a player,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's go Canes.
Shane Larkin, you know.
Shane Larkin. Good Lord. Those are your highlights in your headline.
Yeah, you know. Come tournament time, he'll come around. Miami, Florida, UCF might have ourselves a busy little NCAA tournament. Up next, I have a text question for you. Actually, that's coming up later on in the hour. Up next, is the beef squashed between Paolo Banchero and Jamal Mosley? We'll dig into that story next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. Now is your chance to win 1,000.
All right, let's hit pause for a moment, talk about something that is important to us all. I'm talking about the biggest item of necessity in your home, perhaps outside of your roof. That's your AC system. If you're in need of a new one, if you just need to maintain the one that you currently have, there's only one best option out there, and that's Mills Air. I've been using Mills Air for over 6 years now. They have always been dependable for me, prompt, price efficient as well, and it's not just because I talk about them on the radio. Leon Mills is the founder and CEO of Mills Air, and his goal from day one has been to provide the best quality service, the best equipment, and all of that to their valued customers. I've stopped by the office. I've seen what these people are all about. The culture is incredible. The retention rate for his technicians, second to none in this town. Give them a call, see what they're all about. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
the rulebook and defined a new world of alternative. Nirvana, Atlantis, Pearl Jam, Weezer, No Doubt, and more. Your favorite era? Just a tap away. Open the free iHeart Radio app and listen now.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
This February 14th, you can make a real difference in the lives of more than 80,000 Special Olympics Florida athletes, happening at Aquatica Orlando. It's the annual Polar Plunge. By raising funds and taking the plunge, you help provide year-round training and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Whether you participate on your own, create a team, or involve your school, your commitment empowers athletes to achieve their dreams. Be bold. Get cold. Help build a more inclusive Florida. Learn how you can donate, register, or get your school involved at soflpolarplunge.com.
Saturday, UCF Hoops on the Game as the Knights take on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Our coverage begins at 11:30. Tip time is new. Hear every minute on your exclusive home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app.
This is Paulo Banchero with the Orlando Magic, and you're locked into Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
According to some reports, rumors, rumblings, whatever you want to call it, there is a gap that has supposedly opened between Orlando Magic star Paolo Banchero and head coach Jamal Mosley. I don't even know if I buy it or not, but it still is out there, and it reached a point where both parties addressed it yesterday. Here's Coach Jamal Mosley before last night's victory against the Miami Heat.
I don't really have reactions to that. I think that's outside opinion, which is the case, and everybody's fair to have their opinion on that. I think what me and Paulo have is a constant level of competitiveness that wants to find a way to get a win. No one's happy when you're on a losing streak, and there shouldn't be happiness on a losing streak. And so I don't give too much to those versus what's going on in our locker room is our guys have that edge that wants to find a way to get a win.
Okay, so that was Coach Mosley. Here's Paolo after the game last night addressing it.
Yeah, I mean, he helps us a lot. He's helping me a lot. And, we have a lot of open communication. I wouldn't say, whatever those reports are, I wouldn't say those are true, in my opinion. I think, one thing I know about myself and one thing I know about him is that we're both fierce competitors. So when you're losing a lot of games and stuff's not going well, people are upset. And, me and him haven't had any blow-ups or arguments or going back and forth. Me and him are pretty aligned with, when we talk to each other, trying to figure stuff out. Now, that's not saying when we lose 4 or 5 in a row that I'm not pissed off, he's not pissed off. In terms of, our relationship, I think it's been good, since I've gotten here. And obviously, as a team, we need to keep improving. And I've been vocal about that. He understands that. We all understand it. So I don't think anything that I've said or he said isn't already known in terms of the team and the organization.
Okay, so there you have it. As I said, I don't know if I even buy it or not. ESPN's Tim McMahon wrote the other day that Paolo and Coach Mosley, quote, reportedly are not seeing eye to eye. That does not mean McMahon is reporting it. He's saying somebody else is reporting it. And I ask you, Kravitz, because you monitor this more than me, is there anybody out there reporting this who is, I don't know, considered a credible reporter? You would think that something like this, if it was really an issue, that the top reporter in the NBA, Shams Charania of ESPN, would report it, but he hasn't reported. Who's reporting this?
There was, at the beginning of the season, part of the reason why I dismissed this original, quote, report as quickly as I did is because it came from one of those individuals that covers the Dallas Mavericks, but covers them from the fan blog sites.
Cover them from the couch?
Well, I think he goes to the games.
Okay.
But, like we have fan podcasts and blogs that pop up that cover the Magic, some of which do a good job, but they're not considered credible reporters. He is one of those for Dallas, and Jamal Mosley has ties to Dallas, so I'm sure he still has relationships with people that are over there, and I could see how something through the grapevine would be spoken about in Dallas circles, but this is not a well-known, credible reporter. People ran with that because it makes for a fun headline.
Right.
And then Tim McMahon, who is a very credible reporter that covers the NBA, spoke about the original report on the Hoop Collective podcast. The Hoop Collective podcast is the podcast that Brian Windhorst hosts, and they have very in-depth, intelligent conversations weekly about what's going on in the NBA. But this is a podcast that, like our show, you cover a lot of ground, you're on air for a while, and not every word that you say is an official report. Sometimes you're saying things that you heard, you read, or you think. And that's all Tim McMahon was doing. But because people listen to it and then Tim McMahon says, well, Tim McMahon isn't saying it because he heard it. Tim McMahon is saying it because he heard that somebody else heard it.
He said Tim McMahon said reportedly. That means, yes, he heard it somewhere else or he read it somewhere else. And all I'm saying is if it was actually true, Tim McMahon has enough sources in the NBA, as does Shams, obviously, that they would say, sources tell me. Sources tell me. I mean, they're in with the agents and all of that. If there was something really to this, somebody of credibility would actually report it and not say, reportedly somebody else said this.
I think
all I'm saying.
I
mean, we had Dante on yesterday, and I realized Dante works for the Magic, and he said he hasn't seen anything like this. And I would think Dante, if there was something there, I would think Dante would at least, he wouldn't flat out say nothing's going on. He would sort of tiptoe around it, and he didn't even do that.
No, he was very direct. We put the clip out on social media. You can go and listen to it on all of our pages if you'd like. It's very insightful. Somebody who's in the huddle, which none of us are. Dante is, so we'll take his word for it. He's an honest guy. Yes, he works for the team, but like Mike said, he gave a very honest answer. It sounded like he wasn't dancing around anything. I have not heard anything either. Now, I mean, I am down the grapevine, but I'm on the vine, and I haven't heard a word about it. I think in watching them communicate, this is now tea leaf reading, watching them communicate, seeing the team struggle, and then listening to those clips, I don't think they have a close relationship. I don't think Paolo Banchero and Jamal Mosley are tight. That's not what either one of those sounded like. At no point in Jamal Mosley's discussion did he say, like, was he taken aback by this and go, we have a phenomenal relationship. Nowhere did he say that. And Paolo Banchero was asked about Jamal Mosley, and nowhere did he say, I wouldn't be where I am in my career right now as a rookie of the year, as an all-star in the NBA previously, if it wasn't for Jamal Mosley. He didn't emphatically say, that's my coach. He said we have a good relationship.
He also said at the beginning of the clip that we played, I don't know if he said, I wouldn't say that those reports are true. What do you mean you wouldn't? Just say, no, those reports are not true.
Exactly. Both of them, especially Paolo, because it all starts with it matters much more how the star feels about the coach than how the coach feels about the star. He could have been much more emphatic with his statements, much more definitive than he was. And I think that gives us some glimpse into these guys might not be close. But you know what, folks? Who cares? Not all coach and star need to be tight. Sometimes it works better. Look at Brady and Belichick, the most extreme example. Those guys didn't seem to like each other throughout their entire run. And it worked. As long as there's a mutual respect, That's all that actually matters. And I don't get the sense that the two sides don't respect each other. Whether or not they like each other is somewhat irrelevant.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at. But interesting that this is the first time that both of them have spoken on that issue. So we'll monitor. Let us know what you think. 50857. Coming up next, a quote that gave me chills today and also made me chuckle, and an important question about where you eat. More Game On the way next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
One of my favorite weekend getaways is Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. It's known for its two beautiful, stunning golf courses. I've told you about El Campeon, the Champion. It was founded in 1917. It's one of the most storied courses in the Southeast. And by the way, if you want to play golf, when you book your tee times, when you check in at the pro shop, tell them I sent you. They'll give you a free bucket of range balls. But what I love about it is there's so much more than golf. It's right there on the Harris chain of lakes. I love to rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. They're beautiful. And when the day winds down, you can relax at the spa. They have a beautiful resort pool, hot tub, all the stuff that you would expect at a resort hotel. By the way, Walt Disney back in the day used to stay at Mission Resort and Club, and they have 4 fabulous on-site restaurants. They have a new one now, the Conquistador, which is born from Mission Resort Spanish accented past. Unbelievable. I mean, vibrant, handcrafted cocktails. It's just amazing. All right. So book your reservations for the restaurant, the hotel, or golf tee times at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort and Club, your next great escape is closer than you think.
Prediction markets have absolutely flooded the betting landscape, but no one's doing it better and more above board than Better Edge. The question that you have to ask yourself if you're interested in taking sports betting to that next level is this: do I want whatever lines and odds are offered to me in the first place I look, or do I want the best of the number? If you answered the second one, you're off to a good start. If you head to betteredge.com or download the app, then you're halfway home to becoming a winning sports bettor. Greg and James run a tight ship. They are disruptors to the industry, and they're game heads just like you. So come and bet with me and some of the sharpest sharps around over on Better Edge. Test your knowledge and make a profit off of all that wealth of information you have trapped inside of your head. Better Edge lets you put the power back in your hands as a sports fan. Sign up for the first time. You'll get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon at sign up. That's promo code BeatBrandon at betteredge.com or on the Better Edge app.
Orlando's signature event is back. The Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard, returns to Bay Hill March 2nd through 8th. Experience the new-look Michelob Ultra Fan Deck, plus fan-favorite events like Throwback Thursday, presented by Corksicle, Wine and Dine on 9, presented by Briggs & Riley, the reimagined Birdies and Barbecue, and more. Don't miss the PGA Tour's best at Orlando's signature event, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Get tickets today at arnoldpalmerinvitational.com.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 407-204-0300. That's 407-204-0300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Reward yourself or someone else with a luxury pre-owned Rolex from International Diamond Center.
They're in pristine condition. Everything's been authenticated.
That's IDC's Brian LeClaire, who scours the world to find the highest quality Rolex timepieces. Immaculate, well cared for, flawless.
You're going to find that the quality and overall condition of the watches looks very much mint, the way that you'd want it. You're not going to see the difference when you shop at IDC between the ones that you'd get at your authorized dealer and what we have here.
And unlike the authorized Rolex dealers, IDC has all the models you want ready for purchase.
You want a Pepsi? We've got it. You want a Batman? We've got it. You want a Sprite? We've got it. You want a Bruce Wayne? We've got it. You want a Submariner All Gold? We've got it.
Exquisite pre-owned Rolex watches at the best prices you'll find anywhere.
We know what the pricing looks like in the marketplace around us, and we know that we completely obliterate the competition when it comes to the pricing.
Find the Rolex of your dreams today at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Wallet Millennia.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try it.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants. Plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Hey there, Central Florida, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Thursday night forecast. Temperatures tonight not as chilly as what we were seeing the past couple of nights, but get ready because it is going to get much colder. Tonight, temperatures dropping down into the mid-40s. For your Friday, partly cloudy skies and a little bit of sunshine as temperatures reach the low 70s. And then Saturday, the winds pick up. We're going to see a couple of scattered showers through the morning hours, and then that's when the cold sets in. Get ready for temperatures. 24 degrees on Sunday morning and 26 degrees on Monday morning.
Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeart Radio app.
This is Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. Way to rebound from that commercial break, guys. Now back to Bianchi and Kravitz.
Welcome back to the program. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, whatever city you reside in, if you're watching along on YouTube, 96.9 The Game, all one word. Go ahead and throw that into the search bar, and our live stream will pop right up. Then you can see our beautiful faces. You can also win a...
Just did my push-ups.
Oh, all right. So Bianchi's looking nice and jacked, too. I am in the midst of, I don't know if I look thinner to you, I'm in the midst of my intermittent fasting.
Bianchi, he ate French fries before the show.
Oh, God. Okay.
Well, that was free food, though. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Free food, and it was only like 4 fries, okay? Doesn't count.
Sounds more like idiotic fasting to me.
It's still a type. It is still a type. Mike, you will be very proud to know that last night I fought back the urge to yell at the halftime show after Simone Fontecchio knocked down about 3 threes right before the end of the half. A fine Italian man, Simone Fontecchio. He's having his way with this team. The Prince of Parmesan. But I just said he was from Italy. That's a very different type of broadcast.
You should have broken the Uncle Paulie.
I try and keep it professional. You can win a pair of tickets to WJRR's Earth Day Birthday 26. That returns to the Central Florida Fairgrounds on March 21st. You want in? Hit us up in the Rage Cage. You want to talk about Jamal Mosley and Paolo Banchero, their supposed beef, whoever you think the best quarterback inside of the state is going to be this year in college football, or our upcoming text question of the day. We'll get to that in a moment. Right now, it's time for the coach quote.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
Our daily source of inspiration and motivation, and today's is from Benjamin Franklin.
Penny saved is a penny earned. Stitching time saves 9.
That's right. Ben Franklin. Ever heard of him? What did you call him yesterday? Jaden, this is what makes me troubled about our education system in the state of Florida. Yesterday, Jaden was asking me a question. I don't even remember what it was about, but he said something like, wasn't that from that guy Bob Franklin?
There's no way I called him Bob Franklin.
It wasn't Ben. It wasn't Ben. I can tell you that.
I think it was Bill. I think he said Bill Franklin.
Bill Franklin.
Good save, Jaden.
One of our founding fathers.
Is that Bill? Is that Bill Franklin?
Is it Bill? He's the guy with the kite, right?
Nailed it. No, I didn't call him Bob, okay?
I called him Bill.
Solid flex.
It's better than Bob.
Okay, anyway, our quote. This is a bar, by the way, from Ben Franklin. It could have been a rapper if that was a thing back in the 1700s. I'm sure Jaden knew that he was around in the 1700s. Quote is, "He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else."
Wow. Boom.
Roasted. How many people did he just absolutely roast? This was in the 1700s he said this. Nothing has changed. It's 2026. That line is as relevant today as it was 300 years ago. Yeah. He who is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Can you think of anyone in your life that makes excuse after excuse after excuse that's really good for anything else?
I've had a couple of producers in the past.
You don't say.
Who are good excuse makers? Yes.
Oh man, not you, Jaden. Jaden's looking like, well, God, I'm right here.
I was like, damn, say my name.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite Ben Franklin quote, though, is the one about beer where he said, I believe it was, beer is proof that God loves us.
Ben. Good old Bill was a man before his time.
Bill.
Today's text question today is about restaurants. One of here, turn that down. We're not ready to go quite yet. One of the most popular cheesecake factories in America is closing up shop in Washington, D.C. This is the start of something that could be widespread across the country because I was reading some stories on this. If this one closes, the question is, are others safe? And the Cheesecake Factory is a bastion of American excellence and capitalism. And so the question today is this: what restaurant must we preserve at all costs? And it could be the Cheesecake Factory.
No, not the Cheesecake Factory. I've only been to a Cheesecake Factory one time.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Pricey. Drinks are expensive. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And the cheesecake is great. All right, well, go ahead. Give me your answer. And then we can go to break, Jade, okay?
My answer?
Yeah, what's the rest of the
all you have
we
to
have
do,
to preserve at all costs?
You could call my adult daughters right now, both of them, and just ask them, hey, which restaurant could your dad not live without? And they would immediately start singing, let's go to Taco Bell, Taco Bell, Taco Bell. Does that count as a restaurant?
I was thinking more like a sit-down restaurant, but I guess technically you can take your food.
Sit down and Taco if you want.
You could do that. I can't imagine a world. I don't even eat at this place all that often. I cannot imagine a world that I don't have the option of going to a Texas Roadhouse. Being able to sit there, throw the peanuts on the floor, free bread basket, dip it in the big fat thing of butter.
Yeah. I love Texas. What's the other one that's like Texas Roadhouse? I don't like that one as much.
Logan's?
Is it Logan's?
Outback.
No, I love Outback. Is it Lone Star? Is that
Longhorn.
Longhorn.
Longhorn,
Yeah, like
not
Texas.
as good as Texas Roadhouse.
No, not even.
Not as good. Used to be, but no. Texas Roadhouse they're still cranking out the hits. All right, so that's the question right there. What restaurant must we preserve at all costs? Up next, we'll get into some of your responses from the first hour of the show. Don't you move a muscle. We're not going anywhere right here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
This is your Tools Ace Hardware assist of the night. J.I. to Tristan Da Silva for the flush.
Wide open look for three. It was a little bit short. Isaac, though, grabs the offensive board. And then he dumps it off for Tristan, and he throws it down with two hands. Magic outworking the Heat here in the third, and that's the recipe. 10-point Orlando lead, $140 to play in the frame.
And they just kept building it from there. If you are gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere. Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night and your best stop before the game. Visit toolsacehardware.com and go Magic.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool.
Someone was asked about the quarterback spot as well. And of course, with the Gators, that's Aaron Philo, Tramel Jones. Let's hear what the head coach had to say about that.
I think Buster had extreme confidence in him. As I did my homework, I think the place he was at, they didn't want him to leave. There's a lot of people there that felt like he was ready to be the starter there. And I trust our offensive coordinator to make the call. And I watched him in high school as well. He carries himself the right way. I go back to past experiences. He started Darian Minson my first year at Tulane, and he'd never taken a collegiate snap. Now, I got it. There's the American Conference, not the SEC, right? So they're a little bit different. But, man, if you got the right guy, sometimes I think experience can be oversold. There's a lot of guys that are experienced that aren't very good. And so I believe in what he's about because Buster, feels comfortable with him and has confidence in what he's going to be. And I think Trammell, I'm excited about. I like our quarterback room. Is there maybe a known, proven starter in that room? No. Is there guys I think can help us win football games here? Yeah. Now we got a lot of work to do to figure out what that looks like and who's the starter and all that stuff. Long way from making that decision, but they'll make it for us. The quarterback competition, they decide who starts, not me, by how they practice and how they play.
Right.
Text in 50857. Our text question today: what restaurant must we preserve at all costs? Bianchi said Taco Bell.
Taco. And we weren't able to save this restaurant, but we must bring back Steak and Ale. Steak and Ale. Love Steak and Ale.
Don't have a lot of memories of Steak and Ale. I'm going to go ahead and veto Taco Bell, though, because I think that this question is reserved for restaurants that are under siege. And Taco Bell, any drive-through restaurant that's popular.
Taco Bell's not under siege. No way.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Taco Bell's not going anywhere. I don't think we need to waste our efforts. We have a lot of pull in this state, Mike. I don't think we need to waste our efforts trying to save Taco Bell.
I'll go Outback then, because Outback is my favorite restaurant, a sit-down restaurant, Outback.
You don't think their steaks are a little overrated?
No, I think their steaks are just as good as Chris's steaks. They just don't, because it's Outback. All you hoity-toity steak lovers think that their steak's not as good. The Outback special, that sirloin, I'm not usually a sirloin guy, but they can cook some sirloin at Outback, and their porterhouse. Oh, is it good? And their appetizer, their ahi tuna appetizer, vastly underrated.
Oh, wow. And don't forget, Mike, the bloomin' onion.
Oh, yeah, I'm
That's
not much on
right.
fried food. Yeah, but I do like the blooming onion. I just don't eat it.
No rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse. Cracker Barrel has to be on the list for me. I was afraid that the angsty political crowd was going to ruin it because Cracker Barrel changed their logo and everyone lost their mind. But
that was a mistake on their part.
I went there just in support. Not democratically or through the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but because I stand for the party of scrambled eggs, pancake, syrup, and bacon. Just like our forefathers fought for our rights in this country so that we would not be suppressed by the militant English, so that I could enjoy pancakes and syrup in peace.
Taxation without representation. That's right. That's right.
That's right. I want to eat until I'm nearly dead, and then I want to shop for overpriced trinkets in their little shop.
I'm trying to remember. What did Cracker Barrel do? They tried to get rid of Uncle Homer, or what was his name?
Nobody knew the name of the guy until they changed the logo.
It was Uncle Buford or Uncle Homer, something like that.
Herschel. It's Uncle Herschel.
Uncle Herschel. That's what it was. They tried to get rid of him, and there was an outcry, as there should have been. Leave Unc alone.
That's not the Cracker Barrel I grew up with. You yellow belly cowards.
Damn Yankees trying to come down here and tell us how to run our Cracker Barrels.
Somebody said Panda Express. No, that does not count. If you can roll through a drive-through, those restaurants they're not under siege. Waffle House, Ale House is on the text line. Let us know what you think.
Oh, I love Ale House.
Bring
Ale
back
House
Big
Outback.
Boy.
Big Boy. I've eaten at one Big Boy in my life, and it was in a prominent spot on Austin Powers. The first one, International Man of Mystery. They shot a Big Boy into space.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, you should go and watch that. Coming up next, something that I fancy quite a bit. Sports books. We're going to get the latest on how much people are actually spending on Super Bowl 60. An insider joining us next.
Bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Super Bowl 60 between the Patriots and the Seahawks coming up a week from this Sunday. The second meeting between these two prestigious franchises within the last 10 years. Seattle, first time in the Super Bowl since 2015 when Pete Carroll inexplicably decided to throw the ball down by the goal line, and it was the Patriots' Malcolm Butler that picked it off. That was the last time the Seahawks were in the bowl, and they're taking on the same team they played that year. Of course, two completely different squads, but you'll definitely be seeing highlights of that one leading up to the game itself. Mike, we're going to check in with Dave Mason from betonline.ag coming up here in just a second. You see on the stream, this is 2 notepad pages filled with notes on the game. And I have a full Word document as well. We're not even to Super Bowl week yet. I have significantly overthought this game already.
Now, how many bets will you actually place on the Super Bowl?
I have 7 already, and I will end up with 10. I have a list, and I already have the numbers written out up to 10, and then I'll cap it there. That's about that. That'll be my limit this year.
You're a serious bettor, so you don't do any of these silly little prop bets. I'm guessing.
I used to, but I started taking the vocation much more seriously. So one of my favorites used to be I used to bet on the national anthem. We'll ask Dave about that in a second. And one of my favorites used to be the player that catches the first pass, will they wear an odd or an even numbered jersey? And I used to do some research on like who's on the team, and they're like it's an 87. I bet odd, like Gronk all those years. So, but no, that stuff I'll leave it to everybody else. I've definitely I feel like I've matured in my betting markets. But let's check in with Dave Mason. He runs Bet Online, and he's been doing so for years. Always excited to catch up with him around Super Bowl time. Dave, thanks for hopping on. How you doing today?
I'm well, kind of busy, but not as busy as next week. But yeah, we're getting ready. We're putting all sorts of props on the site, and a little bit of calm before the storm. So we're ready.
How much has that changed over the years? Because I've used Bet Online before. I have taken part in many of these very random, off the beaten path markets in the past, and it always feels like, even going back 10 years or so, that it's been pretty expansive as far as what's available to you. Is that a goal of yours, a challenge to see if you can expand that more and more every year? Do you feel like you've got a pretty good menu year after year of what you offer to sports fans?
Yeah, we always, try to offer the most we ever have. Sometimes the stories write themselves. When Taylor Swift is in the crowd and there's so many darn Taylor Swift fans, you can come up with so many darn markets on her. So when the Chiefs are in it and Taylor Swift is such a huge story, whether you like her or hate her or tired of her or excited for her, something like that just demanded tons of markets. So, a lot of it depends on the storylines, but there's always stuff you can come up with. Back in the day when I first started in this industry, I remember we would brag that we had 300 props on the Super Bowl, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg now. It's thousands upon thousands when you now you can even parlay. And back then you couldn't parlay props. Now you can parlay props. So yeah, it's fun, it's challenging, but we'll get there. Whether we'll have as many as last year, I'm not sure. That's the goal, but we'll see.
Can you compare the handle size, the difference between booking the Super Bowl versus any other, whatever second place is, the difference in the gap of the money that pours into your sports book for the Super Bowl versus whatever the next biggest event is throughout the year?
Right. Well, it's hard to say because the Super Bowl is one day, whereas an event like March Madness is 3 weeks, right? So, you take all those games over March Madness over 3, because there's probably more action on it. But for one day, it kills everything except for one thing. There's one thing that happens on one day that happens every 4 years that rivals the Super Bowl, and that's the election. And it used to not be that way for the last 2 or 3 elections. It rivaled the Super Bowl as far as action is concerned. But other stuff that there's one-day things, I mean, one game, there's nothing that comes close for one game. Absolutely nothing. I mean, kickoff day, NFL Week 1, those games are huge. And Kentucky Derby's a big day. First day of March Madness is massive. But again, that's 16 games on Thursday and 16 games on Friday. But one game, Super Bowl blows everything away. Absolutely.
Dave, Brandon is a betting aficionado. I'm a betting illiterate, so I'm going to ask you some betting illiterate questions. How do you come up with prop bets? Do you have like some creative team that comes up with prop bets? And also, is there only so much you can bet on prop bets?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of different prop bets. There's the standard ones that we just have numbers on and we're ready to go, over under passing yards for Drake May,
right?
And the MVP. But when you're talking about the unique stuff, yeah, we have a good team that's creative, and we've done this stuff forever. And, we're looking for unique stories and just wacky stuff and stuff that'll get eyeballs, stuff that people will talk about, and, fun bets. And as far as they're concerned, no, the limits on stuff like that are a lot lower, whereas we'll be taking, NFL Sunday, we'll be taking $250,000 on a spread bet. These things are, $25, $50, $100 per pop. So, we're not, we know those things are, we don't have any data on some of this stuff, and it's just, stuff we think about real quick, and, what do you think of the odds? What do you think of the odds? And they throw it up there, so we could be off. So, no, we protect ourselves. And the players, and a lot of this stuff too is like can be gray area where it's just like it's not in a box score on ESPN or anything like that. So it's sometimes not as black as white as we'd like it to be.
Also, there's a bit of a controversy in our state about all these prediction markets or prediction companies. Now, how have they affected the betting industry? You guys have been, Bet Online. You guys have been a betting company for years. Now you have these prediction companies coming in. How's that affected you guys?
Not much. Tell you the truth, right now, short term, long term, who knows? I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting product. It's a lot different than sports, the normal sports betting sites, but could take some getting used to. But they're I don't know, they're not as clean as people think as far as the juice is concerned, because they have fees on the back end and stuff like that. So there's a lot of pros and cons to them. But right now, not a lot. But we'll see.
Talking to Dave Mason, he is the bookmaker over at betonline.ag. You mentioned some of those gray areas. I just pulled up one of the more random markets that are available. This is broadcast betting for the Super Bowl, and looking at how long will an unauthorized person / streaker be on the field, over under 17 and a half seconds. I mean, so like, how do you handle this gray area? If it doesn't happen and someone bets the over, do they just get their money back? And then what if you have a hard time counting because the broadcast veers away from it? Like, how do you go about paying that out for something that has such a massive gray area to it?
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't happen, there'll be no action. All bets will be void. As far as the seconds, I mean, it's 2026. Someone's going to have their cell phone camera. It'll be out there, right? But if it isn't, we'll just grade it, nice and friendly. I mean, we've graded stuff, both sides winners before. Again, that's kind of why we keep the limits on this stuff lower. There was a book a few years ago. They were, I'm not going to name them, but they had high limits on the streaker prop, and we know what we're doing here. So we're like, no, we're doing very conservative limits on stuff like that. But they had high limits, and it was and some dude and all all his cohorts bet on yes, there'll be a streaker, and he actually went out and did it, and it supposedly won tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh my God.
But the book didn't pay him. They ended up screwing him over. Yeah, it was. But I mean, that's why you got to think of it. You know, you got to be prepared on stuff like that. You got to be prepared to be like, okay, you know, just grade it, be very player friendly, and you know, hook players up, you know, and go from there. So you know, every Super Bowl there's one or two props where we're just like, okay, just grade both sides winners, right? Now, if you're winning $1,000 on these props, it's you know that you can take a kick in the shorts on that. But if they're low friendly, just fun bets, right? Something that people to talk about and have fun, and I put $25 on a streaker. Okay, no problem. You know, we can handle that. A bunch of people putting a few bucks on a streaker prop.
I heard the guy that ran across the field there was Terry Rozier, by the way. That's what just some quick research that I did. You're pretty transparent on Twitter with bet sizes and the money that's coming into your sports book. What's the incentive for you to be that upfront with your current customers and your potential customers to talk about the big figures that are coming in on Seattle and on New England? What benefit is that for you?
People like it. I mean, this, you know, it's this engagement. As far as I'm concerned, it's not giving them an advantage. It's not giving us an advantage. You know, some players think it gives them advantage if they know which side the public's on or public's against. But in my opinion, it doesn't really. The number's the number. The numbers. If a sharp person's bet it, and I report, hey, sharp person's bet it, we're moving the odds. So the value is gone. You know, people like it, and people ask for it, and you know, it's more about engagement, and talking, and you go from there. It's just, you know, that's nothing really besides that. I mean, but people do respect. A lot of books don't want to share that information, but we don't mind. It's you know, it's interesting. I find it interesting. Oh, you know, I was looking at the Super Bowl futures, and I totally missed one. Like somebody bet $25,000 on the Patriots at plus 625 a few weeks ago. I didn't even see that one, but I mean that's interesting stuff to a lot of people.
That's awesome stuff. Dave Mason, good luck with everything, and your Christmas. BetOnline.ag is how you can go and find that sports book on your own. They offer sign-up bonuses, a 50% welcome bonus, up to $250 in free bets. Thanks so much, Dave. Appreciate it. Have fun next Sunday.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Coming up next.
Kravitz, real quick. Would you go to the Super Bowl with a media credential? All right. You get into the Super Bowl with a media credential. For $1 million, would you take your clothes off and streak across the field?
Absolutely.
$1 million.
Absolutely.
You would get fired.
Yeah. I think the betting companies that I work for would still keep me employed, so I'd still have some money stream coming in, and I'd have $1 million in the bank. Figure it out from there. I'll leave my media credential on, and then the rest.
All you can wear is your credential. Yeah.
That'll be tough. Hopefully it's in one of those warm weather cities, you know? Up next, which quarterback in the college ranks is going to be the best in the state? We'll dig into that next.
Bianchi and Kravitz. Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. B-A-N-K. Enter it now at 969thegame.com and answer your phone if they call. Good luck.
Don't forget bank. B-A-N-K. You can bank on this, by the way. You want crowd noise in the stadium. You don't want it outside your house, all right? Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are designed to significantly reduce outside noise while also delivering top-level protection against Florida's heat, humidity, storms, flying debris. That means a quieter, more peaceful home without sacrificing safety or energy efficiency every single day. Renewal by Andersen replaces builder-grade windows that didn't even make it a decade. That's what you call a draft bust. Acclaim Impact windows are built with Fibrex material twice as strong as vinyl and engineered to perform year after year after year. And right now, during their happy renewal year sale, buy one window or patio door, get the second 40% off, plus zero down, zero payments, zero interest for 1 full year. Whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Andersen, where comfort meets quality.
The City Beautiful now has a new team that we can all rally behind. The MLV champs, the Orlando Valkyries. Fast, loud, flying above the net, nonstop entertainment. Professional women's volleyball is one of the best live sports out there, and we've got a game head section that you can be a part of. Just email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, bring the noise, and head coach Amy Pauley will bring the dubs. It's the Valkyries, Orlando's pro volleyball team, right here in our backyard.
You're going to start running into some slowdowns on your ride this afternoon on I-4 eastbound before you head over St. John's River Bridge. It's stop and go westbound on I-4 before Darrell Carter Parkway, and expect delays southbound on Florida's Turnpike before Osceola Parkway. That crash on I-4 westbound near Lake Mary Boulevard's cleared up. Traffic's getting by a lot better now. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Orlando. This President's Day at Mattress Warehouse, let their diagnostic bed match technology help you find your perfect mattress. At prices up to 70% off, you're sure to find the mattress to fit your body and your budget. Visit mattresswarehouse.com for a store near you.
You care about predictions. You care about props. And for the upcoming big game, nobody does props like Bet Online. For years, Bet Online has been providing big game markets, sharp odds, and player props built for fans who see the game before it happens. From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, Bet Online delivers live in-game action, instant updates, and in-game props. Prediction markets follow the conversation. Bet Online defines it. Bet Online. The game starts here.
What's up, sports fans? It's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. For 50 straight seasons, Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont has been your truck MVP. And right now they're putting together a game-winning drive during their Chevy Red Tag event where you can get 0% APR for 36 months on a brand new Silverado and more than $13,000 in savings. Prefer an SUV? Also get 0% APR on a new Equinox and Trailblazer. Better move fast. These red tags don't last. Chevy, together, let's drive.
The real story in lab-grown diamonds is the outrageous markups other jewelers are charging for them.
That's Brian Stamey, Vice President of International Diamond Center.
Jewelry stores are marking up lab-grown diamonds as much as 800%. It's insane.
So instead of continuing to see customers overpay, IDC is changing the game.
For our customers, we have secured direct access to a wholesaler of fine quality lab-grown diamonds. Every size, every shape. IDC will facilitate the purchase at wholesale pricing directly from the grower. Look, we will always stand behind natural diamonds, but if a customer wants a lab-grown option, we can at least make sure they aren't being price gouged.
International Diamond Center.
For over 4 decades, IDC has stood for one thing above all, protecting our customers. No games, no inflated prices, just the diamond you want at the fair price you deserve.
So don't overpay. If you want a lab-grown diamond, come to IDC and save thousands. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Mullet Millennia, and Waterford Lakes. Online, shopidc.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I've been telling you guys about Kevin Krager with LPT Realty, one of the top 25 producing agents in Central Florida. My guy is money, and he joins me now to chat about the latest in real estate. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to first-time home buyers?
Interview agents and ask important questions. Ask what's important to that agent. Make sure that agent is listening to you and understands what it is that you need when you're buying a house. There's hundreds of thousands of agents across this country, and a lot of people can buy and sell real estate, but to protect what you're doing, you need to make sure that agent is really connecting with you, really listening to you, and has your best interest at heart. It's not just a paycheck for me. It's not just a paycheck for a lot of agents, but I want a long-lasting relationship. I'm going to give loyalty to you. And then I also would say, as a home buyer, giving loyalty back to that agent, because at some point you're going to want to sell that house.
Trust and loyalty. You can count on Kevin for that. He'll move you right along through the real estate buying and selling process. 407-702-4635.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is...
You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
For ripping Ole Miss coach Pete Golding and calling him out and having evidence that Pete Golding was tampering with a Clemson player who'd signed with Clemson, signed an NIL deal with Clemson, and Dabo Swinney essentially made it public that Pete Golding was cheating at Ole Miss. So good for Dabo Swinney, and shame on these coaches for recruiting guys who've already signed NIL deals elsewhere. And yes, that goes for you too, Mario Cristobal at Miami, for recruiting Darian Mensah, who'd already signed an NIL deal with Duke. It used to be, Kravitz, back in the good old days when the NCAA had teeth, used to be that these coaches would get fired.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app. Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810, Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810. Or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeart Radio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Trey Flynn Law, go and find him if you need him. Your free case evaluation is a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today. Call Trey. We've got a ways to go before we have to worry about how much our state of Florida teams, other than Miami, are going to let us down. But there is something that they all have in common this year, and that would be new signal callers. FSU, UCF, Florida, even Miami, who made it to the national championship game and almost won it. They are all ushering in new quarterbacks. It's the state of the game right now, Mike. It's like nobody can hang on to...
Isn't every team in the country ushering in new quarterbacks?
Do you think that there's something to the transfer portal for players became this trendy thing to do? I think some players just move because they feel like that's what they're supposed to do, and they think that there's like a status symbol to it. Do you think colleges, that coaches are almost doing the same thing when it comes to the quarterback position, where they feel like they have to make moves every year?
No, I don't think so with coaches. I think coaches would love to have a quarterback who was an Arch Manning type of quarterback who stayed there and developed. And
he really is Arch Manning. When you think about his ride through Texas, so rare that he waited his turn, and is now slowly developing in the system. That is a unicorn right now.
Yeah.
And you just wait, Mike. I know this is about the state of Florida. The hype around Arch Manning will be recycled come August. It'll all be back like it was
Oh, no
last
question. No question. He's a outlier though, because I mean he comes from a family of wealth. He doesn't need to jump around and make an extra million or two in the portal. His family's already multi-millionaires, so there is that.
So FSU is going to have a battle. I'm not sure how excited FSU fans should be about that battle. Auburn backup Ashton Daniels transferred over. Then you also have former Lafayette starter Dean DeNoble, who came out of the transfer portal. And then they're also signing a JUCO player, Malachi Marshall, and a 4-star prep recruit, Jaden O'Neal. So I don't know if all of those guys have a legitimate shot at starting a quarterback. It seems to me like Ashton Daniels has the fast track.
Right. He was at Auburn for a while. Wasn't he at Stanford before that, I believe?
Yeah, and he played a little bit last year.
Right.
You watch his – I caution anybody, including myself. Don't get excited watching highlights. Everybody looks amazing, but Ashton Daniels is one of them. You watch him on the highlight reel at Auburn, and he's got some really nice plays under his belt. Even more so, when I watch Alonzo Barnett, who is going to take over, this is not going to be a battle. He is going to be the starting quarterback for the UCF Knights. He looks incredible. Cannon for an arm, super tough, runs with authority. That's the kind of guy. It reminds me a lot of Byram Brown with USF, just that physical kind of runner that can be just a guy that plays like that is clearly going to be a leader because other players, the line is going to want to block for him. Receivers are going to go, hey, if he's blocking downfield, we got to block downfield. I think that's somebody that UCF fans should be very excited about. And then
Scott Frost had a press conference today, and somebody asked him, hey, is there going to be a battle? He essentially said, no, this is our starter. And yeah,
it's so different from last year because he's like, I just have so many quarterbacks. I just love all of them so much. So, if you really love someone, you go with that guy. Scott Frost, you mentioned the press conference. He spoke about how good Barnett is.
I think Alonzo's a guy that can really throw it. I think he plays courageously, stands in the pocket when he needs to make throws, takes off when he needs to. Probably a better athlete than some people realize, but he was able to accomplish a lot of really good things at James Madison, and hats off to them. We expect the same kind of production from him at this level. I think he can do everything really well. So we're looking forward to get him with the rest of the guys and just seeing how all of it comes together. But, we're definitely approaching this year with we have our number one. I think the battle is really for 2, 3, and beyond.
Scott, I'm really excited that Scott Frost is excited about a quarterback. That should give UCF fans a lot of hope.
Plus, you heard him say plays courageously. That is like he's not like Taven Jackson. He plays courageously. That's what he probably wanted to say. And yeah, if Alonzo Barnett, knock on wood, because UCF hasn't been able to keep a quarterback healthy since Dylan Gabriel, for crying out loud. If he stays healthy, I think UCF can turn it around really quickly with him at quarterback. Because we all know if you have the right coach and the right quarterback in college football, you are probably going to be pretty good. So, and Barnett did lead. He was the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year. He did lead James Madison into the college football playoffs. So, yeah, I'm excited about him.
And then real quick, Darian Mensah is obviously going to be the starter for Miami. They're paying through the teeth for the guy, so it would be a disaster if he wasn't. For Florida, they are going to be deciding between Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech or Tramel Jones, who was on the roster last year. Here's John Summerall talking about his duo that he's in love with.
Buster had extreme confidence in him. As I did my homework, I think the place he was at, they didn't want him to leave. There's a lot of people there that felt like he was ready to be the starter there. And I trust our offensive coordinator to make the call. And I watched him in high school as well. He carries himself the right way. I go back to past experiences. You know, I started Darian Minson my first year at Tulane, and he'd never taken a collegiate snap. Now, I got it. There's the American Conference, not the SEC, right? So they're a little bit different. But, man, if you got the right guy, sometimes I think experience can be oversold. There's a lot of guys that are experienced that aren't very good. And so I believe in what he's about because Buster, you know, feels comfortable with him and has confidence in what he's going to be. And I think Trammell, I'm excited about. I like our quarterback room. Is there maybe a known, proven starter in that room? No.
Is there a reason you should be excited? No, but I'm excited. I think that's what John Summer was saying.
I do think there's a reason Gator fans should be excited because Buster Faulkner obviously was the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. Aaron Philo, from all indications, was going to be Georgia Tech's starting quarterback this season, and he followed his offensive coordinator to Florida, and Georgia Tech's offense was one of the best offenses in college football last year. So, yeah, I think that's a reason to be excited if you're a Gator fan.
Good enough for me. I liked watching some Georgia Tech football last year with Haynes King. Up next, it is Polapalooza time here on Game On, one of our favorite segments of the week, coming your way in minutes.
Bianchi and Kravitz.
Hey, sports fan, the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi here to tell you about Don Mealy Chevrolet out there in Claremont, your Trek headquarters for 50 years. And right now you can score big with a 3.9% APR for 60 months on a brand new Chevy Silverado or up to $5,000 in bonus cash. Need something a little more family friendly? Drive home in a new Chevy Equinox with 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. Also, I was talking to Jason, the GM at Don Mealy the other day, and they have Equinox EVs right now, and you can get up to $10,000 off. They have over 60 in stock. I'm going to go test drive one of those babies next week. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today, or you can shop online at donmealychevy.com. Chevy, together let's drive.
Prediction markets have absolutely flooded the betting landscape, but no one's doing it better and more above board than Better Edge. The question that you have to ask yourself if you're interested in taking sports betting to that next level is this: do I want whatever lines and odds are offered to me in the first place I look, or do I want the best of the number? If you answered the second one, you're off to a good start. If you head to betteredge.com or download the app, then you're halfway home to becoming a winning sports bettor. Greg and James run a tight ship. They are disruptors to the industry, and they're game heads just like you. So come and bet with me and some of the sharpest sharps around over on Better Edge. Test your knowledge and make a profit off of all that wealth of information you have trapped inside of your head. Better Edge lets you put the power back in your hands as a sports fan. Sign up for the first time. You'll get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon at sign up. That's promo code BeatBrandon at betteredge.com or on the Better Edge app.
If you care about predictions, you care about props. And for the upcoming big game, nobody does props like Bet Online. For years, Bet Online has been providing big game markets, sharp odds, and player props built for fans who see the game before it happens. From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, Bet Online delivers live in-game action, instant updates, and in-game props. Prediction markets follow the conversation. Bet Online defines it. Bet Online. The game starts here.
If you're in a slip and fall accident, time is not on your side. Stores have video footage that's crucial evidence in your case. You've got to act quickly. Call Farah and Farah so we can preserve it before it disappears. Orlando.
Looking for a workout that doesn't feel like a workout? At Crush Yard, wellness is all about movement, connection, and fun, no matter your skill level. Whether you've never picked up a paddle or you play every week, pickleball gets your body moving and your stress levels down. Adding great food, refreshing drinks, and a social atmosphere, and it's wellness you actually want to show up for. Learn more at crushyard.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabyte, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Google of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction. Lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu has 10 indulgencies for $3 or less. From the opulent new mini taco salad to the decadent beefy potato loaded griller. That much Luxe could have you expecting a maitre d' at the drive-thru. At participating Taco Bells, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
If Indiana can win the national championship, Florida, Florida State, even UCF, you don't have any excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. We need 3 or 4 years to get our players in. No, not anymore. Not anymore. Florida, John Summerall, let's see you do it this year. And Scott Frost, I hate to say it, hey, clock's ticking on you too. If the losing is,
he's going to get a lot of guys fired around
if the losingest program in college football history can go on a 2-year run like Indiana has just gone on, there's no excuses for anybody else.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app.
After they beat Miami to stop a 4-game skid yesterday, the Magic are back home. Orlando entertains Toronto. That game's tomorrow night. Over to college basketball, it's set to roll on tonight when Stetson visits North Florida. Hatters looking to stop a 3-game skid there. And 2-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning, he reportedly fell short in Pro Football Hall of Fame voting for a 2nd straight year. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Discover.
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Dolphins play here. Game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app. We wait for this moment all week. It's a party. It's a bash. It's Polapalooza.
It's not just any time of the week. It's Polapalooza time. Ain't that right, Mikey?
Polapalooza! Polapalooza!
Hit the music.
Polapalooza!
5 questions, all mind benders, and the results are discussed by us, but they are decided by you, our loyal audience, the loyal legion of game heads. At 96.9 Game On is how you can vote. Let's dig in, Mike, shall we?
Let's do it.
Question number 1. Would you trade either Franz Wagner or Paolo Banchero for Giannis? 4 options here. Listen closely. Yes, I would trade Franz. Yes, I would trade Paolo. I would trade either one, or I would trade neither. What's your vote? And then I'll tell you what the people said.
My vote is, I'm sorry, I am Mr. Patient, all right? I want to see this iteration of the Magic, this young nucleus that the Magic have built. I want to see them at full strength, injury-free. I want to see how they do. So I would not trade Franz or Paolo. I would trade neither for a Giannis right now who's injured. I realize it's not a serious injury, but he's 30 years old. No, I would trade neither one.
Yeah, I think he might be trade me injured, but he has been dealing with some injuries lately, and that makes me nervous. I think it's too big of a gamble for how many years the two of them have in front of them. I would say trade neither. I would think about it. I would definitely have a very long meeting with the brass about it. Not immediately dismissed, but trade neither would be my vote. And it's your vote as well out there. 38% of the votes say trade neither. 27% says trade either one. So the fewest votes were deciding which player the folks actually wanted to trade. Interesting result there. Poll question number 2. Is his involvement in Spygate reason enough to leave Bill Belichick off the Hall of Fame ballot upon his first year of eligibility? Absolutely yes or absolutely not? I know Mikey
Absolutely
says.
yes. Absolutely yes. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying that was a huge scandal that embarrassed the NFL, embarrassed the Patriots, and it cast a bad light on Bill Belichick. So yes, he should be docked a year. What's the matter with docking him a year when some of the greatest coaches of all, the other greatest coaches of all time, guys like Bill Walsh and Vince Lombardi and Joe Gibbs, they didn't get in on the first ballot and they didn't cheat. So why does Belichick get in on the first ballot? And he did cheat.
Well, they didn't win as many Super Bowls as Bill Belichick did.
They also didn't have Tom Brady for their entire career.
I say absolutely not. I heard Colin Cowherd today made the analogy that when you get pulled over on the highway, can you say to the officer, well, everybody's doing it. You know, you have to pay for your crimes if you get caught. Well, he did.
Colin Cowherd's best analogy was yesterday. He goes, hey, you can be the greatest husband of all time for 30 years, all right? But if you get caught one time cheating, you're not a great husband anymore, and you get docked. Okay.
And he did. That's the thing. He's not. Bill Belichick in this analogy is not married to the Hall of Fame committee. Let's move on.
He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend.
60% of the vote say absolutely not. He should have gotten in right away. Poll question number 3. Very interested to click on the results here. Do you respect or despise when athletes like Victor Wembanyama make their social political views public? 3 options. Respect it, despise it, or it depends if I agree with what they said.
You know where I'm going. I respect it, especially if they do it in a classy way. Victor Wembanyama wasn't obnoxious about his viewpoint on the shootings in Minneapolis. He was very thoughtful about it. He, obviously he said some things that rubbed people the wrong way, but he was very thoughtful about it. He was compassionate about it. I respect any athlete, any public figure who
who goes out on the now. Is it smart profitability wise? Should they do it as far as their brand? Probably not, but I respect it.
I respect it in either direction. If you don't want to say anything because you're not comfortable in that arena, or you're trying to sell some shoes like Michael Jordan, Caitlin Clark, she stays as down the middle as she knows. She's trying to keep fans on both sides. I respect that. If that's you're a basketball player. If you just want to be a basketball player that's insanely marketable, be that. If you want to speak out, history looks fondly upon those people. And I would say to anybody that's blasting Victor Wembanyama for the comments that he made, don't you look back on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Muhammad Ali and Bill Russell? Don't you admire their courage in the past to stand out against things that they felt were unjust? We look fondly, I think, as a vast majority, we looked fondly upon those things. So why are you comfortable criticizing it in the moment when 20 years down the road we're going to look back and admire those things? That's how I feel about it. I say respect it as well. 47% of the vote say respect it. 34% say despise it, and then 18% are honest and say that it depends on if I agree. Poll question number 4. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being super excited, how excited are you for this year's Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Seahawks? 10, somewhere between 7 and 9, between 4 and 6, or 3 or less. What would be your grading on the scale of excitement?
I'm not overly excited about this Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, if we had a team in it, like the Bucks, or especially my Jaguars, or not that the Dolphins are going to get to the Super Bowl anytime soon, but I would say 4 to 6. It's an okay Super Bowl in my mind. Not a great Super Bowl, okay Super Bowl.
I was at between 4 and 6 until I really dug into the matchup, and I think the football side of this, logos aside, seeing these teams over and over again aside, I think the game itself is going to be tremendous. I go between 7 and 9. The listeners, not that excited. 37% say between 4 and 6. 37% say between 3 or less. So not a lot of excitement there. Last question here. Which of these 4 popular chain restaurants could you not live without? This is a spinoff of our text question today. Chili's, Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, or Texas Roadhouse? Those are the 4 I threw on the poll.
Only been to Chili's only been to Cheesecake Factory one time. Olive Garden, I hadn't been in a long time, but I like Olive Garden. Texas Roadhouse is really good. Chili's, does Chili's still have the 2-for-1 beer all the time?
I think so. For happy hour, they do.
Chili's.
I'm surprised.
No, I don't think it even has to be happy hour. I think Chili's has 2-for-1 beer anytime.
Every hour is happy hour at Chili's.
Right.
38% of the votes say Olive Garden, followed by Chili's in second place, and then Cheesecake Factory and Texas Roadhouse tied for last. What's wrong with you guys? That is this week's Pola Palooza. We'll dig into your responses from the first 2 hours of the show coming up. Don't go anywhere, game heads. We return in minutes.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Quick time out to talk about Mills Air, the most dependable service you can find if you need to update your AC system, if you just need a clean out, or if you're in need of a whole new one altogether. They've been around since 1992 and quickly grew to become one of Central Florida's largest and most respected companies around. Voted as the top AC company in terms of Orlando Weekly voting. And if I had a vote, I would just slam the button again and again and again. Protect your investment. Give yourself some peace of mind. Call Leon and the crew. Schedule your appointment. Stand-up individuals, incredibly respectful, responsible, and honest technicians. When you call them, tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by, and be assured that you're going to get nothing but the absolute best service with Mills Air. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
This message is for all you couples out there because when one of you isn't feeling great, energy, performance, or confidence, it affects both of you. At Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness, they've got treatments that help both men and women reconnect. For the guys, there's shockwave therapy and the P-Shot, natural, non-surgical ways to boost performance and blood flow in the bedroom. For women, they offer shockwave therapy and Impsella, therapies that improve comfort, sensitivity, and pelvic strength post-menopause. It's all medical, all natural, and it really works. Dr. John Carrizzella and his team know this isn't just about physical performance. It's about restoring confidence and connection. If you and your partner want to feel like your best selves again, together, start here. Go to hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you. That's hormonesandwellness.com/bulldog.
You're going to start getting stuck on the major roadways eastbound before St. John's River Bridge, getting through the city. There's slowdowns. Southbound on Florida's Turnpike before Osceola Parkway stop and go, and delays on I-4 westbound between Celebration and getting through that Champions Gate area. It's bumper to bumper there. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Orlando Valkyries, our Valks, the MLV champs, they're back in action for the new year. And if you haven't gone to a match yet, I can't encourage it enough as we venture into a new season. Volleyball has quickly become my son's favorite sport to watch live. I have the Valkyries to thank for creating lifelong family memories with more to come this season. The Valkyries are a premier professional volleyball franchise competing in Major League Volleyball, one of the league's most dynamic and fast-rising teams, and the defending champs. Experience the competition, the innovative in-game presentation, and a deep connection to the Orlando community. Head coach Amy Pauley has this team rolling right now, and this season is a great time to hop on board. The Valkyries are redefining what it means to be a professional sports organization in this town. For ticket and team info, head to provolleyball.com or head to ticketmaster.com and search the Orlando Valkyries, and I'll see you at the next match.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Listening to your favorite podcast
And taking your favorite radio station with you to the gym or across the country?
that's the one app.
The free iHeart Radio app.
Stop paying for apps you don't need.
Rediscover the app that's probably already on your phone. iHeart Radio.
The #1 app for radio.
Now that a new year is here, start 2026 by showing your gratitude. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, celebrating the incredible impact of public school educators. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life who's gone above and beyond for their students to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom. Teachers give their time, money, and hearts to help students succeed. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Get all the info and nominate a teacher who goes the extra mile today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
When Paolo spoke, he said, you got to come in prepared. You have to come in with a plan. When you see something is trending a certain way, you have to fix it, and I don't think we've done that. When he was asked about the issues with chemistry and coming together as a team, he said, quote, I think it's something that's occurred over and over again the last few seasons, and right now it feels like we have the same issues that we had in the past. If we want to be a contender, something has to be different. That sounds a lot like we need a new coach. And I think that I would be sugarcoating it if I said that it sounded like anything else.
I mean, we're reading between the lines, but yeah, if you're one of those who believe there's an issue between the player and the coach, Paolo's quotes last night certainly could be taken the way we're taking them.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
This is Franz Wagner of the Orlando Magic, and you're listening to the premier sports talk radio show in the state of Florida. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I thought he was absolutely great. You talk about a guy that always stays ready no matter what the rotation looks like. When his numbers called, he changed the game defensively. Being able to go in there and guard multiple guys, multiple positions, protect the rim. It's just his energy was very infectious for us tonight.
Jonathan Isaac making an impact last night against the Miami Heat. See if the Magic can stack some wins here. They take on the Toronto Raptors tomorrow with pregame coverage starting at 7 p.m., tip-off at 7:30. Our coverage presented here locally by IBEW Local 606, proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. Mike, I've been digging into this Super Bowl so much. I've been discovering all of these fun facts upon my my hours and hours of prep for the big game. And one of the ones that I found today, I found extra fascinating. So this is your Super Bowl fun fact of the day. I'm going to, as long as I remember to do so, I'll deliver one of these every show leading up to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is just the second quarterback ever to win 14 games 2 years in a row. Only the second to ever do it. And the other one? Any guesses?
The other one would be Thomas Brady.
That is correct. Thomas Brady. Good job, Mike Bianchi. Take the low-hanging fruit when you see it hanging there on the vine. And, so now it's Sam Darnold and Tom Brady. Only two quarterbacks to ever win 14 games 2 seasons in a row. Our text question today is, which restaurant must we go all in to preserve? I'm seeing Cheesecake Factory's closing up shop, plus Paolo Banchero, Jamal Mosley appear to have squashed their beef. We're going to read through some text messages. We got some talkbacks, a nice variety pack for you coming up 60 seconds away. Right now, we step to the side for our friends over at Fox Sports Radio, get you all caught up with the latest and greatest in sports. We are back in 60 seconds with more Game On.